What's going on, Washington Commanders Nation? It's your boy Rio with the latest and greatest on the Rambling with Rio YouTube channel. We ramble about the Washington Commanders. Today, the Washington Commanders had their first training camp session. I couldn't think of a better person to bring in and rein in the first Washington Commanders training camp than the Senior Vice President of Media and Content, the lovely and amazing Miss Julie Donaldson. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. What an intro. It's always a pleasure to chat with you. And hopefully we'll see you out here at camp one of these days.
I'll be out there Friday morning,
Okay,
actually. I'll
good.
be out there. How was the first day? School is back in session.
I know, a couple of folks would be asking, and the media members asked, head coach Ron Rivera, Carson Wentz, John Allen, them like what it's like for day one. There's definitely an energy and an atmosphere in the building, and it's a busy building where during the off season, you have a few people in, they're scattered all over the place. I mean, we were packed to the seams today with just folks coming in to do their jobs. And as Carson Wentz says, you get a little bit of those goosebumps. So
Yeah.
I think we all have a certain amount of excitement. It's a bit different being here in Ashburn. I gotta admit, I kind of like going away to camp. It kind of feels like more official to kick
I
off
like
the
it
season.
too.
But it's cool because the guys have everything they need right here. They can go home to their families. There's not those extra distractions. But we're up and running. So day one is down. Year three for me.
What was the attendance like for today? Because I know with the fan lottery system, I know
Mm.
since it's on the team premises, the access to camp isn't as great as it was in usual years. What was the attendance like today?
Yeah, many, many, many years ago, they used to have training camp here, but there was a lot of parking. And
Mm,
now we're a little limited and we're limited on space. So it's kind of hard to be able to just open it up like it was down in Richmond, which obviously was just a fantastic experience. We're working really hard to make it as best as we can, but we can only accommodate so many. And each day we kind of allot to different areas from ticket holders. Today was suite holders. So in order to come and attend practice today, you have to have a suite at FedEx Field.
okay.
We'll have days where it is the lottery for fans can come on out. We have charitable, so those in the community and relations can come out. So we've really kind of divvied it up over the 3 weeks to hopefully make sure everybody that wants to come out has that opportunity to come out. And we're really trying to make it as great of an experience as we can, given the space and the confines that we have as well.
Absolutely. It's year three for you in your position, but it's year one as the Washington Commanders. Are you guys putting like an importance on knocking everything out of the park this year because you're reigning in the new permanent era of a franchise of this magnitude? Is there like a pressure to feel like y'all got to nail everything?
Rio, that's every year. I'm like, come on. Like, really, that's every year there's pressure
True.
to do what you do as best as you can and then try to improve on that each and every time. I mean, look, when I took this job, people joke that we're the three teamers. I started with the Redskins, I went to the Washington football team, and now here I am as the Commanders.
Look
And
at
each year
you.
has presented new challenges, new opportunities, new ways of kind of working with different people as we bring them in the mix and really kind of grow our business as well. So I don't know there's extra pressure, but of course we want to get it right. Of course we're proud to say, hey, this is a new era we're going in. And we want to bring everybody with us as best we can.
So far, I mean, we're about 6 months past the rebrand and renaming of this team. What is your favorite part of the rollout, the branding, or any of that so far?
Favorite part? Look, my favorite part, I'm in this business, I'm in this job because I love the game and I love football. So this
Mhm.
might be my favorite part.
I love
Is
it.
just getting football back because the rollout came after the season last year, where we officially announced on February 2nd the Commanders. So here we are now, rocking and rolling with that. I'm excited to just talk about the guys on the field, to be able to see who really kind of emerges, how those that we expect superstardom from continue their growth and development. Those that are going to be the surprises and fighting for a roster spot really step up, and
The
then
good
hopefully seeing it all in the field soon enough.
absolutely. So out of the new uniforms, out of the three new uniforms that we have, which one is your favorite?
Oh, I like the all black. And those helmets, like we were having a conversation because we have them right when you walk in the lobby. We have the burgundy helmet, which is kind of like that brushed, not shiny, like that
Mhm.
matte finish. And we have the black one, which is shiny and it looks sharp. And there was this argument over which one do you like best. And to me, like I like the black. I think the black on black on black is just, it's cutting edge. It's talking about going to the future. It's tough. It's clean. And
Mhm.
guys are going to feel kind of like badasses in it, if I'm allowed to say that on your podcast.
Oh, you can say
But
whatever you
really,
want on this show.
yeah, I like all of them, but I think the black's just something new. And so as we're going into a new era, a new name, it's kind of cool to have like a new look as well with that still ties to, our burgundy and gold, but with a little bit of an edge. What's your
Absolutely.
favorite?
I've been crying and begging for black uniforms and for black to be incorporated. And I felt like it was coming because I could see in some of the merch under Washington football team, y'all were just sneaking some black into some of the merchandise and some of the hats. I think the black is a sleek look. I wish we could wear it more than once or twice a year, but the
Mhm.
white uniform just hits different to
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Sleeves on it, the gradients and the numbers. Some people say it doesn't mesh well with the other two uniforms. It looks like a different entity or a different team. But that and that burgundy matte helmet, it just has sex appeal to it. It
Mhm.
is
I
completely,
agree.
it is gorgeous. I
I
love it.
agree.
The white ones hit the same. The burgundy, that's the tradition one. They're like, okay, we got to have one uniform for the fans who saw the glory days. We got to keep it simple, you know. We're going to give it a different number concept, but we're going to keep it
Mhm.
back to our roots. But the white is sexy, the black is sleek, and I cannot wait to see us play in all three of them. But I will say, the the whole aesthetic of the branding under Commanders, some people will get upset by it. Everything looks better than before. I think that the team was starting to look a little dated. Your show, the command center,
Mm.
everything, the graphics, the aesthetic, the lighting, the camera work, it is so much better than your predecessors. I'm not taking shots at anybody, but I didn't want to hear the word skins tangibles ever again in my life. How has it been starting the show's command center?
Uh, Thank you. Thank you for that. We appreciate it. Look, and here's the cool thing about what we're doing and what you're saying, like with command centers, we really get to experience everything for the first time, which is kind of cool, and really being a part of that as we go through. And to your point, like command center, like it's been really great watching that come to life. Like my team has worked really hard on making sure those graphics pop off the screen
You
of
can
of
tell.
seeing each time how they can push it to the next level, and just how far we can go with what we're working with, and really hopefully making it as engaging as possible. We know in the new venue we'll probably have this crazy huge studio, but for right now we're making the best with what we have, and we're making it sing, and I love it. Hopefully you saw the training camp show as well, because that's
Absolutely.
only going to get better. But we're giving you live look and access to what's on the field, so if you can't come on out, that's a great one to watch. But thank you. Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of really talented people working really hard of making this look good, feel good. And now it's just up to, as head coach Ron Rivera says, they just got to bring in those W's.
Got to bring in the W's because the culture, it happens on and off the field. And you can already see that it's been a drastic shift in culture since you joined the club. What is the biggest difference since the day you walked in till right now that you would say as far as culture?
You want everybody that works here to feel supported. You want them to feel valued and respected for the job and the skill set that they bring to work. Everybody always works as business because we have a passion for it, because we love it. And it's great when you get to see people doing the jobs that they love and feeling appreciated for that. So I think that's one of the biggest things that I've really tried, at least with my team, is just to make sure, be like, look, this is what you're good at. How can we make that your main lane? How can we help support you within that as well, within the resources that we do have? So, I wasn't here before, so I can't speak too much to that. But I will
Mhm.
say now, when you walk in the building, like there's a certain comfort of walking around. There's a lot more women just walking around here at the park,
Love
and
to
they're here
see it.
because they do good jobs and they deserve to do the job that they have the skill set for. And that's exciting. I'm proud of that. I'm excited for the direction that we are going in, and really looking forward to where we continue to take it as we do continue to go into yet another season.
Absolutely. And there's always something going on surrounding this team. Does it ever make it draining or overwhelming to do your job? Did you ever have any days where you were like, what did I get myself into?
Look, Coach Rivera, I think John Allen and Carson Wentz were even asked this today, and a lot of players continue to be asked this. question, because we are under the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. But the thing is that what we're doing is we're coming out, we're hopefully doing our jobs well, treating everybody with respect, and hopefully encouraging each other to grow within our skill set, which will allow you to be successful. And that's really what it boils down to. And at the end of the day, we're a football team. So to me, it's great to be able to say, you know what, we can talk football. And that's what I
Absolutely.
love talking. It's what the players love talking. We have to go about our jobs. We understand there's business that has to be taken care of. But we're really excited to be able to say, you know what, like, let's talk about some of the X's and the O's. Let's get excited for the season and for game day. But certainly, because otherwise, in a normal world at a different team, I probably wouldn't be even answering that question at all. So it's out there. You see it, you feel it. There is a weight to it, but we also are excited because we know where we stand now and where we're going tomorrow.
Absolutely. And speaking of talking football, let's get to it. The team has a quarterback now. It seems
Mhm.
like the quarterback position, you just roll a dice and you don't know what you're going to get out of it when it comes here. We churn out quarterbacks. It's been kind of a purgatory of sorts over the years. We have a guy probably fighting for his starting soul in the NFL. What does Carson Wentz bring to this locker room? And how much does it lift a weight off his shoulders that Ron Rivera has hammered home the fact that he is wanted here in DC?
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy. Nobody goes into the league anticipating having to go to 3 different teams within 3 different years. That's not the goal,
Mhm.
especially when you're brought in to be the franchise guy, which he was in the Eagles, and deal with so many different injuries and challenges and things that you can't go up against. But they do want him here. They've made that very clear. You can see even when I have conversations with him, like the growth and maturity, and the different leadership tools and kind of growth that he has with that, compared to when he first came in the league. And that's to be expected as you move into year 7, that you do pick up different leadership skills and
Oh,
approach it differently. So he's already taking that time to get to know the guys in the locker room. Guys are really excited to see him be a team player, the work that he's putting in. And then of course, when it comes to on the field, what you even saw like out there a couple times today is he takes that ball and he just launches it and it is a rocket. And that is taking advantage of the speed that we have in the receivers that we haven't really fully been able to do before. You can have Dotson go deep. You can have Terry McLaurin turn on the guns and just break it down there and just stretch the field. And it's going to add a different element and dimension to this offense that we haven't really fully been able to see so far. As you mentioned, that it's been a bit of a Rolodex of quarterbacks. So look, he's the starting guy. Stay healthy. Hopefully he takes us well beyond the season.
I know I'm ready to see Commander Wentz get to work. When I was out there at OTAs for one of the sessions, he hit Jahan on like a 65-yard bomb, and it just made my heart smile because we
Mhm.
haven't had a quarterback with the size, the all the intangibles, height, weight, speed, and the howitzer of a right arm. It's a beautiful sight to see, and this is probably the best assortment of weapons he's had since he's been in the
Mhm.
NFL. We got our guy locked up, Terry McLaurin. I cannot think of a more deserving, humble guy, homegrown talent out of the third round, a gem. How did it feel seeing Terry get his due and to see the team roll out the red carpet for him when he did so?
When I asked Terry how hard it was for him to miss mini camp and OTAs, he's like, "It was killing me." He's like, "It's business. I had to set up for business, but man, he wanted to be out there with his teammates. He wanted to be out there with Carson." So you saw as soon as he could, he's out there working with Carson. And you already see them, getting in sync. And where they had a miss earlier today, it's like they're communicating on why and what went wrong and how they can make sure that that's not something that carries over to the next play. So it's exciting. It's great because Terry McLaurin has had to deal with, a quarterback after quarterback. And we're always asking him the challenge of playing his game with so many different quarterbacks have different tendencies. He's like, look, I can't worry about that. And you ask any receiver, they can't ever use that as an excuse. They just got to make the quarterback's job as easy as possible. So we're looking forward to that. And especially with Dotson out there too, and Curtis Samuel coming out there,
Oh,
this
please.
team has the potential. And you look at the running back, even they have the potential to have a very potent offense should everything come together. And you feel it because you talk to some of the coaches here walking around the building and some of the players, and they know what they have. They don't want to get the expectations too high
Mhm.
or any of that, but of course their internal expectations are really high. But it's exciting because you know that the possibility of doing something special is there.
Absolutely. It's year three. I know Ron doesn't want to go with the mantra of win or bust, but I know in his heart he believes it because it's year three. He took off in Carolina. It's year three. In years that he missed the playoffs, he usually wins around 9 or 10 games as a head coach in this league. Antonio Gibson was on the side field today. Is that just precaution? What's going on that aspect?
Yeah, nothing to worry about. We had him on our show today, as well coming on up, and yeah, he's fine. I think they just, picking and choosing their spots with them. It's day one of what is going to be a very long season of a very long camp. So and I was talking with running back coach Randy Jordan, and I was like, man, I can't wait to see your room in action. And he's like, yeah, me too. Like like he loves the guys that he has to work with. So no worries on AG. And if anything, his workload should be easier from this year because of Robinson coming in and what he's going to be able to add
Was it
to
tank?
AG, and it should help elevate even AG's game as well.
Absolutely. I just got a couple more for you. I'm gonna let you go. Chase Young, how's he look? I know right now he's starting the camp on the
Mhm.
pup. How's he look, and what is his recovery like? I don't want to put a timetable on it,
Yeah, we're
but
not.
how do you think his recovery is going so
I don't think we've put any timetable on it, as well, because you just don't know how injuries go. You go as best as you can, and when he's ready, we'll get him out there. But of course, they want to make sure that they do it very wisely, in a very smart fashion to make sure that when he is out there, he contributes and he stays out there as well. We see too often guys rush back and then, get extra little tweaks one way or the other, something else is compromised. But I was chatting with him in the lobby today, and he's good. He's excited to be here. He likes being around the guys. He's doing the work he needs to do. So when he is ready to go, you put him out there. You see the next level of Montez Sweat coming in. Those additions on the D line, and there shouldn't be any concerns about this unit really attacking it.
absolutely. And just one more thing before you go. The Commanders yesterday, y'all announced the fight song, the two options the fans can vote on. So we got the Fight for Our Commanders and the Leaders on a Mission. Which one are you leaning towards, and how do you feel about these songs?
I like the leaders on a mission. I had the opportunity to kind of see a bunch of different versions before we cut it down to the two. And I know we made a conscious point of changing as least amount as possible because we know fans they're gonna sing what they want, but we wanted it to still again like we want to bring our history with us,
Mhm.
but we just are under a new name. So I know it's difficult, but I like the leaders on a mission, for that. And it goes to say, and I even heard, head coach Ron Rivera, I think it was just brought up to him and he hadn't quite seen it yet either. And he said the same, just because it sets the standard of what you are wanting from the players. You want them to be leaders, and they're in the search, of course, that ultimate goal, which is the Super Bowl. So, but look, it's not up to me at this point. I had my say in early on. It's up to the fans. So hopefully they go vote, and hopefully it becomes something that we can celebrate when we do see those guys getting into the end zone, and carrying that tradition on into this upcoming season under the new name Commanders.
Absolutely. Are those the final like renders of the fight song, or are those just like a sample just to get out to the fans to hear
No,
it?
that's what it's down to, are those 2 versions. So, what do you make of it?
To me, like to be perfectly honest, it sounds like some ROTC joined the Navy. Like it sounds like we're trying to be
Yeah.
recruited to the military a little bit. But I guess when you hear it in unison as the fans are singing it like they sung the old fight song, I think it could have used a little bit of
Well,
a modern twang to it.
the old fight song typically was the same kind of a call in a different version, right, I
Oh, for sure.
suppose? Yeah.
I think could have used a little bit of taste of modern version, but
Yeah.
either one works for me as long as they're scoring points and we're able to sing it. It is what it is. What is your preference for a team mascot?
I don't have one. I know that's terrible.
I don't have one either.
Yeah, I've always said that it's kinda hard for me to adopt, like, a random animal as a mascot. Like, I'm a gator, I will stay a gator.
Let Lucy
I'm
run
very
out there in
proud
the
of my
jersey.
gators, although I have to admit there's a lot of Alabama guys running around this building, and as long as they produce, that's fine, I will tolerate. But, it's we always have a little SEC fun with the different guys that are around here.
I'm bad.
I don't I I don't I'm kind of the mindset that I don't even know we need a mascot, but that's my view.
Me too.
We will
I'm
have a
with you.
mascot. It'll be fun trying to see what the fans have to say about it. I think that'll be the exciting part is kind of seeing what everybody comes up with to see where we ultimately land. But I do like the idea of bringing the fans along with us and really kind of letting you guys pick what you want for this team.
Exactly. Just make sure they listen to the fans this time, and just let Lucy run out there in a jersey, give her a
There
little
we go.
military outfit.
She already has her commander's jersey. It's a black one too, of course. Like my little girl's got to be
Okay.
tough. That
Okay.
7 pound straight run up and want to be cuddled. But hey, look, she's my version of picking the commanders every single week. But I mean, she's a smart dog. Does she want asparagus or does she want the chicken treats?
She wearing
No,
black. She
I
wearing the
swear
black
we don't rig
jersey.
it. No rigging.
She's gonna choose the tougher option wearing the black jersey. But I thank you so
Mhm.
much for joining me today. We went for about 20 minutes. I'm gonna let you get back to it because I know you're a busy woman around this time of the year. But before you go, congratulations on everything you did as a nominee and first runner-up for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. You had a goal of raising $100,000. Did you hit your goal, Miss Donaldson?
Oh, we went way past it. Got to basically about 170,000, because
Woo!
some money even trickled in after, which didn't count to my total that night. But yeah, it was 10 weeks of a lot of hard work. But it was so great to see you yourself contributing. I was talking to some of the coaches, or some of the coaches contributed. Some of our team doctors contributed. A lot of the folks on my staff, and of course, anybody out there that fan and just saw me tweeting relentlessly pushing the message out. It was so important to me and it was so great because every single dollar matters, added up, and it's making a huge, huge impact. So I appreciate you supporting me in that and everybody else that did as well. It was very touching. And I'm glad that we could be able to give it back.
Absolutely. And we appreciate everything you do for this franchise. Keep killing it. Until next time, hail to the Washington Commanders. Take command.